Alright, so we're going into literally the actual scariest house here at Halloween Horror Nights, Insidious. Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. Tonight I am doing an R.I.P tour here at Halloween Horror Nights, and as you can tell, and as you can hear, we have some bad weather in the area. But tonight I'm going to show you guys everything that the R.I.P has in store, and to see is it worth the price to pay for an R.I.P tour. Hopefully this weather passes by very, very soon. But as of right now, it's not looking like it. So we are currently here at the Dead Coconut Club. I got Austin here. I have Nick from Mouse Vibes. Now, he's not going on the R.I.P tour with us, but he does have videos of inside the house. He was at the media event the other night, so I will link all his stuff down below. Nick, what was your favorite house you went through? Oh my God. Okay, back to what I said. What was your favorite? Top three. Give me top three.
Top three in no particular order. It's got to be Insidious. It's scary as hell. Ghostbusters and A Quiet Place. I know it's all IPs, but they hit for a reason.
No, the IPs this year have been great so far. Now, I haven't hit all of the houses. There's still 5 more houses I have to go through. Ghostbusters, Slaughter Cinema, Monstros Latin America. I have to go to the Goblin's Feast and Universal Monsters Eternal Bloodlines. So those are the 5 houses I've not done. But so far, Insidious has been my favorite. We're waiting this weather out right now. We're supposed to be checking in the next 20, 30 minutes. So we'll see. Hopefully this weather passes by. But we're doing an R.I.P tour. You guys are going to see all the houses. My friend Ryan from Fort Lauderdale Theme Parks, he was gracious enough to let me use his footage inside the houses. So you guys are going to see inside of every single house tonight. But we're going to go through to every single house, probably multiple times. And I'm going to show you guys, is the R.I.P tour here at Halloween Horror Nights worth your money? But this weather is crazy, so hopefully it passes. Let's go inside. And also, if you all have never been on an R.I.P tour before, like I said, this is one of the best ways to do Halloween Horror Nights. And here is everything that is included with your R.I.P tour. To start, you're gonna have your very own dedicated VIP entrance. You'll utilize this entrance to bypass the crowds that are going into Halloween Horror Nights. And then once you get upstairs into the VIP area, you'll receive your souvenir pin and souvenir lanyard for your R.I.P tour. And as you are waiting for the event to start, this is where you can grab some drinks, some food. All the food and non-alcoholic beverages are complimentary throughout your R.I.P tour, but alcoholic beverages do have to be purchased. But this is a good place to start to get some food and drinks in your system before you have your very long but very fun R.I.P tour. Now, during the actual tour, you get front of line access. This is where you get to skip the regular lines and even the express lines to go right into the haunted houses, and even select attractions that are open throughout Halloween Horror Nights. Your tour guide will lead you through the event, providing insights, tips, and ensuring you get the most out of your night. They will also give you some details and backstories before entering each and every haunted house and scare zone at the event. I really love that part of the tour because you get to learn so many things about the houses that you might never know if you didn't do an R.I.P tour. Now, for our tour, we did not do this because we prioritized the houses over doing everything else, but you do have reserved seating for the Nightmare Fuel Nocturnal Circus show. Within the park, you also have access to the VIP areas. This could include special photo ops, private bars, and other themed experiences. Those other themed experiences could be doing the MIB Alien Attack tour or doing the backstage tour of the Revenge of the Mummy roller coaster. So right now we are at the VIP lounge. We just checked in for the R.I.P tour. Inside we got food, drinks. Right here is the Murderita, and we are waiting for the opening ceremonies for Sinister and Surreal to show up to let us into Halloween Horror Nights. But I'm so excited. I love doing the R.I.P tours. It is, for me, I will spoil it right now, it is so worth the money because there is food, complimentary food inside before you go into the event, during the event. Now, for drinks, you do have to purchase these. These are not included in the R.I.P tour, but it's just so much fun. We get super quick access to all the houses. I'm really excited. We're gonna go through all the houses, some of the houses multiple times. But like I said at the beginning of the video, shout out to Ryan for the Love of Theme Parks for letting me use his footage from the houses. So this is, once again, your spoiler warning. If you do not want to see inside any of the houses, click off this video because I will be showing you guys inside of every single house that we go through. The one house I cannot wait for, though, is Slaughter Cinema 2, the sequel to Slaughter Cinema. But here is the opening ceremonies for Halloween Horror Nights 33. Hope you all enjoy, and it's gonna be a fun night.
Realms of horror. For 33 years, your of our most popular intellectual properties that we have throughout our next events, and that is our wonderful partnership with Blumhouse. So we are going to start our evening by heading directly into the further. Now, has anyone ever been in our Insidious house from way back when? Yeah, got a couple. Not this one, yeah, the original one.
Yeah.
Now, we have done an Insidious house before that was based off of the movie, and it was the storyline following Dalton and his family in possession. But this time, we are not going to follow any specific character, as we ourselves get to walk through directly into the further.
All right, so we're going into literally the actual scariest house here at Halloween Horror Nights, Insidious. It's a great house, but it has absolutely scared the crap out of me every time I've gone through it. So I'm leading the way out of our whole group. I am number one. So let's see. You ready?
Yeah, no, not ready at all.
You just said yes.
Yep.
Okay.
No.
Here we go.
Let my voice be your guide. Keep a steady stride. Into the further you go.
He's got the
You're good.
we've never had our own slasher, so we are going to head to our very first original slasher of our storyline here at Halloween Horror Nights. Now, we are going to actually start the house by traveling. We are going to travel back to 1984 in the small town of Toledo, Ohio, where we are going to visit the night that these horrific events will begin for the very first time. Now, we have just missed out on the Barmy triplets' 9th birthday party. Now, they have celebrated in their family home, but as we walk up, we'll see something is not right. The lawn is covered in junk. They clearly seem to be hoarders, and maybe not all right in the head. Now, as we walk in, we will see the events of March 3rd, 1984, when those triplets go absolutely ravenous and murder their entire family. We will then be able to jump forward in time to present year. We are going to see through a true crime podcast that the Barmy triplets did not just stop on their 9th birthday. That every 10 years they come back to commit a ritualistic killing just like they did on their 9th birthday. So we're going to visit March 3rd, 2024 to see exactly how many bodies they racked up this year on their 49th birthday.
Alright, so I led the way through the Insidious house. Absolutely terrifying. One of the scariest Halloween Horror Nights houses I've ever been through. But I rated one of the best houses of this year. Now we're about to go into Triplets of Terror. But I warn you, if you're going into the Insidious house this year, be prepared. The scares in there are unreal. Easily one of my favorite houses of the year.
Race ritual. Wow! Welcome back to the Urban Podcast, where is your best fun.
Okay, so we just went through Triplets of Terror. Overall, good house. Not my favorite one that I've been through so far. I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10 for a rating. Austin, what would you give it?
I give it a 6 out of 10 as well. I saw a little bit more the second time, but still 6 out of 10.
Not one of my favorites. I honestly had this really high on my hype list to start the year out. I had it number 4. It's gonna probably be down towards the bottom of my list, but now we are heading into Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. The first time we are both doing the Ghostbusters house this year. We've heard great things, and I'm really excited to go see it. So here we go.
What we'll do now is we started with an intellectual property. We went to an original story. We're now going to bounce back to an intellectual property. Now, of course, we have our beloved films here at Universal. We have E.T., we have Jaws, we have Jurassic Park, and another big one is, of course, Ghostbusters. Yeah. So this year, in 2024, we were lucky enough to have yet another installment of the film franchise. Has anyone seen Ghostbusters Frozen Empire?
Yeah.
All you have to know is that it's really cold. But for a little more context, what's cool is we are going to be joining the new Ghostbusters in present day. Now, the Spengler family has kind of readapted Ghostbusters, starting to hunt those ghosts once more. But they have run into a new foe this time, Baraka. Now, Baraka, instead of being a ghost, is more of an ancient demon that has come back after being released from his brass prison.
Now he's headed straight for us.
Sorry, lady.
I'm going to take a PKE ring.
Sorry, lady.
Okay, just got out of Ghostbusters. I really enjoyed that house. If you've seen the movie and you're a fan of Ghostbusters, you will love it. I'd probably give it a 7.5 out of 10 for me, just because the theming was really well done. Basically, right after the movie. What do you think? Quick thoughts.
I give it a 7.3. All I'm going to say is the Puff Marshmallow Man. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, they have tons of little puffed marshmallow men all around the house. It's awesome. Now we are going into, like our tour guide said, Monstros, the Monsters of Latin America. This is actually my number 2 house on my hype list because this was supposedly the best house last year at HHN Hollywood. So let's go.
About this house. Now this house is really cool because we have actually done the house that Universal Hollywood had the concept for last year. That is Monstros of Latin America. Nailed it. Perfect. Now this cemetery is exclusively for all of the bodies of the men, women, and children who have lost their lives to these monsters. Now we will encounter the Kawaguchi. She is a type of vampire that travels in a green fog and exclusively sucks the blood of infants and young children. We will then move into El Simon. Now he carries a bag of bones on his back, and all of his victims he will rip the ribs right from their spine. We will then finally encounter Lale Chusa. She is a witch who transforms into an owl, but continues to have the haggard face of an old woman as she'll rip your flesh from your bones.
Please don't believe what a reason that happens in the world. Tonight is June. Alla bruja me encontré. Cuántas heridas se ha chupado usted. Dos.
Just went through Monsters, the Monsters of Latin America. Like I said, that was the second house, number 2 on my hype list for the season. Still a great house. I don't know if I would still keep it at number 2. Very beautiful inside, very well put together. I would probably give it a solid, I would still stick the same kind of what we've been going, 7, 7.5 out of 10. Some really good scares. The costumes in there for the characters are amazing. Austin, what would you give it?
I give it a 7, 7.5 as well. Yeah, very beautiful house. Cool animatronics. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a ton of animatronics, and there's one major giant animatronic in there, the puppets. Yeah, there are more puppets than animatronics. There's a lot of puppets in there. Really cool house. It is currently 7:10. We have now knocked out, in the first hour of HHM being open, we've knocked out 4 houses already. And the next house we are hitting up is, I believe, it's going to be A Quiet Place house, which is a phenomenal house. So I can't wait to go through that one again.
So this film, or this haunted house, excuse me, is actually going to be based off of the first 2 films of the series, A Quiet Place Part 1 and A Quiet Place Part 2. Now this is really exciting because this is actually the longest haunted house that we have this year, so we were really able to utilize that soundstage to tell the stories of both parts 1 and 2. Essentially, part 1 follows a family, and we meet up with them way after this apocalypse has happened, where these creatures called death angels have taken over. Now, if you don't know, death angels are essentially these creatures that are completely blind, but they have supersonic cochlear hearing. So any sound you make, they will be able to track and hunt you. Now, they've been able to survive in the woods, but interestingly enough, their eldest daughter is deaf. So that, of course, complicates things. If you can't hear how loud you're being, that does kind of up the ante a little bit. But thanks to her, we do find out that due to her implant, they do react to that reverb, that sound. Now we'll then move into the second half of part 2. Part 2, we actually find that there is an island that has been completely untouched by this apocalypse. We find that these creatures cannot swim, so we find refuge where this society has been living completely death angel free. Until we bring them to the island of paradise, where we will then get to see exactly how we get to defeat the death angels in the end. So, if you guys are ready, let's head back over to the sound stages. Oh wait,
so we just finished the Quiet Place house. We are now in the bar on top of Jimmy Fallon's. It's kind of like a little VIP bar for the R.I.P Tour. Super cool. You get some great views of Universal Studios. Got the Gold Juice, which is a specialty drink for Halloween Horror Nights. But for a Quiet Place, an amazing house. Really cool, super quiet, and there's no actual like music or anything. A lot of fun. If you enjoyed both the first 2 movies for A Quiet Place, you would love this house. For right now, I probably rate it inside of my top 4 houses for Halloween Horror Nights.
Some of the best art that they have, they're torture devices, right? So we'll get to see a twist of different subjects of this royal kingdom, indulging in the torture themselves or having it be forced upon them. What's really cool is, of course, our main ruler of the scare zone is Sinister. Now, there's a big difference between our sisters, Sinister and Surreal. Sinister being more about the physical torture and horror, whereas Surreal is more of the psychological horror of the mind. So here we get to see all of that blood, guts, and physicality that Surreal has brought to our event this year. So let's head downstairs and visit the fair.
All right, so right now we are about to walk through the Tortured Fair Scare Zone. Probably my favorite scare zone here at Halloween Horror Nights this year. This is going to be located in the New York section of the park. What was the thing in the
They cut off his tongue. I was like, how is he still alive? I get it. I don't think. So you guys, of course, can become extras in Stephen Sommers' newest film, Revenge of the Mummy. Now for this one, I know we still have a lot of our drinks. Would we be interested in doing a little bit of a backstage experience first?
Yeah.
Now, the only thing about this backstage experience is that there is no pictures or videos while we are back there, which wouldn't matter anyways, because we will be in complete darkness since we are going underneath the track while the ride is operating.
Oh, that's sick. All right, so once we are inside, we actually can't film any of this or show any photos, but we are getting a little sneak peek backstage look at the Revenge of the Mummy roller coaster. It's gonna be really cool. Unfortunately, I can't show you guys any of the footage, but this is something you can do here on the R.I.P Tour for Halloween Horror Nights. Okay, so we just got the little backstage tour of Revenge of the Mummy, which was super cool. We were literally right underneath the coaster as it was going. One of the coolest things I've ever done inside of a theme park. What did you think of the little backstage tour that we had?
That was very cool. It was very unexpected.
Yeah, because last year we did like the little Men in Black tour, which you can do, which obviously you can do that any day you come into the park if you ask the Men in Black team members here. I didn't know the Mummy one was actually a thing you could do. But now we're heading into our, what, 6th house of the night?
Yeah.
We're heading into our 6th house of the night, Major Sweet's Candy Factory. Now, for those of you who do not know, this used to be a scare zone 2 years ago. One of my favorite scare zones. I loved it. Now they have kind of turned it into a house. So here's the explanation of the house and the theme of it. And then after that, you guys will see footage of the exact house. But here we go.
Guess what? I volunteered all of you guys to be chaperones for the field trip. You're welcome.
Perfect. So excited.
Listen, now you guys get to do it. Yeah. I get to take it back and eat some candy, right? So we are going to head to the town of Progress County, where they're actually getting prepared for a Halloween parade coming up. But we are heading to a very special field trip to Major Sweet's Candy Factory. Now he set up this wonderful walkthrough so all of the children from this school trip can taste and test all of the famous candy. What we did not know though, as we let the kids chow down, is that this candy will turn them into murderous, ravenous little beasts. First things first, does anyone know what a GAT is?
Gas activated trigger.
Gas activated trigger, which means you guys will be in charge of some of the scares in this house. So if you see anything that looks like candy that says take me, I don't know, reach out, try to touch it. Or if you see those very obvious big red buttons, go ahead and give it a slam.
it away. If the kids don't get you, I'm putting you in the trash compactor.
Alright, well, we have now exited directly into a scare zone. Now, of course, we love our intellectual properties as well as our very near and dear partners, Blumhouse. So this year we have a really cool photo opportunity zone in Enter the Blumhouse. Now, you're essentially just going to be able to see all of those iconic characters and mass murderers from all of those Blumhouse films, like the Purge series, the Black Phone, Megan, and even a couple more.
All right, 6th house completed of the night. Major Sweets Candy Factory. I think it's a really good house, really fun. They have a lot of guest activated little buttons in there that you can hit to activate different scares, which I think is really, really fun. So if you are going through a house, make sure to look for like little candy bowls that say take candy, or look for big giant red buttons that you can press. Overall, like I said, I think same as my first night rating, I give it like a 6.5, 7 out of 10. Hold on, I'm trying to navigate through a crowd right now. Like I said, 6.5, 7 out of 10. Austin, what would you give it?
Probably the same, 6.5 or 7.
Yeah, no, it's definitely easy. If you are coming to Horror Nights for your first time and you're terrified of going to these houses, I think the Major Suites is a really easy and fun one to go through. More fun than scary. You have still some good scares in that house, but definitely a good one to start out with if you are leaning more towards you are terrified of Halloween Horror Nights, and it's a great house to start with. But now we are on to, I believe we're going to Universal Monsters Eternal Bloodlines and Goblin's Feast, which, again, 2 houses that we have not done yet and we are super excited about.
We get to enter a whole new timeline of our classic Universal monsters. So one thing I love about this house is women! I'm hearing some not loud boos, but that's okay. I decided now. This house is really cool because this is going to be one of our completely female-driven storylines, as well as an all-female presenting cast, which is so cool. It's the first time we've ever done a house like this. So we are going to be introduced to an all-new character. Her name is Saskia Van Helsing. Now, if you know the name Van Helsing, that is the famous bloodline of monster hunters. Now, we are going to walk in upon her mourning the death of her brother Hans. Now, he has recently been murdered by the daughter of Dracula. And now Saskia, she sees this as a sign to her that Dracula's daughter means war. So we will follow Saskia on her journey as she discovers her father's weapons in his crypt for the first time, adorning her crossbow, and then traveling, defeating all different monsters so that she can finally take down Dracula's daughter.
Protector of mankind, Valley of Light. But with my brother's death at the hands of Dracula's daughter, darkness is falling and our bloodline is dying out. I will take my revenge to destroy Dracula's daughter.
Blood Moon Dark Harvest.
Yes.
Dark Offerings, excuse me. So those were haunted houses designed by senior scenic designer Dylan Polak. This house was also designed by him as well. Now, one of my favorite things about him as a creative is that he always has an eye for putting something somewhere where you would never think to look, or where you would absent-mindedly look, right? So when you're in a haunted house, where do you look? Forward or down, right? So if there's scares happening right next to you, you don't see them because you're looking away. He forces you to shift your perspective up and away from where you normally would, so that he can hit you with all new scares from different angles. And this is a perfect example of those techniques. So when you're walking into this house, don't just look forward. Look behind you, look around, because you're going to see those scenes continuing all around you. But the story is, after a long harvest season, we are celebrating the Good Goblins Feast. Now we are going to be welcomed into a human chop house. Now what could that possibly mean for us? Well, that means we are on the menu tonight. Because for this great celebration, we are going to be what is served. So as we continue through the chop house, we are going to be chased out, not getting to experience that great holiday hospitality that everyone seems to be so fond of, continuing through the different caste system of the Goblin Society. So we'll see how we go from the lowest orcs to trolls to goblin witches and even the highest royalty of the hobgoblins. We get to see how different systems almost get to celebrate as we try to survive.
Find me. You'll scare the rest of the town.
Definitely gotta be a number 2 for me.
Idiot humans! Tricks again! Keep them in the back. Get them in the back for meal prep. Hungry. Order up.
Prepare for me.
Let me out! Please!
Silence, swine.
A good goblin's face, do ya? Ah! Gods! The food is escaping!
Alright, so as you all can clearly see, we are in Men in Black Alien Attack. We're in the little downstairs area. You'll get a little quick view right now. But yeah, this is what you can come do on a VIP tour, or an R.I.P tour, I should say. Come down here, check it out. Everyone who is going on the ride is walking above us right now. But then you also can, you know, sign this little book right here, put your name in it, and that's what I'm going to do right now. Sign the date. All right, see here, you can sign your name, hometown. Do aliens exist? Yes. Do you know any aliens? Yes, I do. His name is Pedro. So Pedro, if you're watching this video, sorry, I outed you out as an alien. And have you visited Men in Black before? Yes. But it's cool. You can come in here. As people are walking around, come down to the bottom section area here in Men in Black. Super cool thing to do on your R.I.P tour, but I think you can also do this during the daytime when you come here to the park. Just ask for the Men in Black tour and they will bring you down here if it is available. Okay, but while we're in here, I'll talk about the two houses that we did go through. That is going to be Goblin's Feast and Universal Monsters Eternal Bloodlines. Both are great houses. We went through both of them twice, so Eternal Bloodlines twice and Goblin's Feast twice. I think Goblin's Feast is easily going to be a top 5, potentially top 3, top 4 house of mine throughout the year. So many jump scares, so many scare actors throughout the house. I really love the theming of it. And then Universal Monsters Eternal Bloodlines. Universal always kills it with the Universal Monster houses. Easily a top 5 house of mine. For me this year, I really think every house has been great, other than, in my opinion, just because of what I've experienced, what I've gone through, Tributes of Terror and Museum of Deadly Exhibits. Those are the only two that kind of fall flat for me. Don't really get, too many scares in those houses. But other than that, the houses this year are great. We have 2 more to go through. We've hit right now 8 different houses, but a total of 10 as we've went through both Universal Monsters and Goblin's Feast twice. So the only 2 we have left is Slaughter Cinema 2, which is, I'm so excited for. I have not gone through that one yet. And then we have Museum of Deadly Exhibits. And then we'll probably go through some houses multiple times. I can imagine we're gonna hit Slaughter Cinema 2 a couple times. And it is only 10 o'clock right now. So we still have 4 hours of this tour left, 4 hours the night left for this event. So still plenty of time to do whatever we want. So that's why we kind of took a break right now and are just kind of sitting and chilling in this VIP area for Men in Black, which is super cool. Like, we're just relaxing, chilling. People are walking by us, going on the ride, like I said, and just trying to figure out why we're down here. We have a bunch of people like, how'd you get down there? How'd you get down there? We're like, oh, VIP tour, right? But yeah, it's super cool. Something you definitely, if you're going to do a R.I.P tour, do this, as well as ask to do the Mummy one as well. That was really, really cool. Really, like, right underneath the coaster. But so far, it's been such a fun night. And I know I'm just kind of yapping on right now, rambling on, but it's been such a fun night. R.I.P tour is so worth it because you get to go through so many houses multiple times. You get to learn the secrets of the houses, get to have some like inside stories, inside little details, really cool. And the really cool thing is, like, our tour guide's been like pointing out little like Easter eggs inside the houses if you go through. So like if you've been right behind her, she points things out, which is really cool. But it's been a great night. Like I said, 2 more houses to go. I hope you all have been enjoying these videos because it's been a lot of fun to make. But we are now headed over to Slaughter Cinema 2 and the Museum of Deadly Exhibits. And like I always say, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up because it really does help out the channel. But let's go to the next 2 houses.
Now, what we are first going to start off with is a very interesting night at the museum. So we are going to walk up to the Museum of International Folklore, where we'll see a delivery being made. Now we see that inside of this large crate is some kind of glowing being. It turns out it's their newest exhibit, the Rotting Stone. Now, essentially, the rotting stone is said to be essentially what has caused a lot of deaths across time in Western Europe.
The picture of our newest exhibit. This fall, our newest exhibit will be opening. The rotting stone in Western Europe has hundreds of...
It's possessed. It's possessed.
Much experience. This story. naughty list. What of the naughty list?
Blood. Freshwater farm. Salt. Following films, we will special.
We have to walk through a swamp, specifically swamp all the way back from 1933. Now this swamp is covered in such a thick fog that two bootleggers have used it to conceal their counterfeit goods for plenty of years. But another thing that this swamp is good at concealing is bodies, for those who only get in their way of any of their misdeeds. Now those bodies have racked up over the years, and they are coming back to finally get their revenge.
Alright, so we just got out of Slaughter Cinema 2 and the Museum of Deadly Exhibits. Currently our tour guide has her hour-long break, so we are right now, well, we were chilling inside of Cafe La Bamba. They have like desserts right now, sodas, waters, a bar if you want to buy drinks. So we're going to be in there just chilling out for the next hour, but wanted to let you guys know our thoughts on Museum Deadly Exhibits and Slaughter Cinema 2. Easily right now, Slaughter Cinema 2 is my favorite house of HHN 33. Unreal house. We're definitely going to go back through it one more time tonight. Museum of Deadly Exhibits, while I don't like it entirely, I did enjoy it a lot more this time around than the first time. But for me, I think it's still on the bottom of my list, probably the 7, 8, 9 range in there. Not my favorite. It's still a really cool house, but all the other houses this year are just incredible. But those are my quick little thoughts. Just want to let you guys know where they are at in my list. Slaughter Cinema 2, unreal house. Unreal. I love it.
Museum one, it was better the second time. Still low on the list, about like probably 7. Better the second time. Slaughter Cinema definitely number 1. Such a fun haunted house. Like there were so many different rooms and stuff inside. So Slaughter Cinema definitely going to keep the number 1 spot.
Like he said, in Slaughter Cinema 2, there was so much to see, so many different rooms. You had like the Mardi Gras murders, you had Christmas, as you all saw in the video. You had the mummy strippers. I was not expecting that at all. Mummy strippers, which was funny. But a lot of cool rooms in there, a lot of cool scares. And if y'all know me, what I've been saying the past couple of months, getting ready for this year's Halloween Horror Nights, is that the original Slaughter Cinema is my all-time favorite Halloween Horror Nights house. And the second one, I love. It's so good. I'm so glad they did such a great job with it. But like I said, now we're just chilling out, having some desserts, and then we will be going on to knock out a couple more houses. Now we're officially done. We've hit every house, but now we can go back through and hit the ones we want multiple times. So we'll probably do Slaughter Cinema. My guess is if we're by Slaughter Cinema, we'll probably do the museum again. I would like to do Insidious and maybe A Quiet Place one more time. Me personally, maybe Monstrose. But we still have, let's see right now. It is 11 o'clock, 11:05 to be exact. So we still have 2 hours and 55 minutes left of this event. And it's been a lot of fun. 100%, and I'll keep saying this throughout today's video, 100% worth booking an R.I.P Tour if you are going to do Halloween Horror Nights.
Our final scare zone of the evening, our demon queens. Yeah. So we've already talked a lot about Sinister and her physical horror with Torture Fair, but now it's time for us to finally meet Surreal with her psychological horror. So we have now entered the dimension of the demon queens, who exist in the far abscesses of our minds, where every deplorable thought can exist.
They're all here to strike fear into your mind. The fear of looking foolish. So it's your fears. You would not feel so foolish after all. Yes, dear, what is your biggest fear?
All right, everyone, that's going to do it for our R.I.P tour here at Halloween Horror Nights. We got through 19 houses. We did every house twice except for Triplets of Terror. 19 houses. It is currently 1:15 in the morning. We have been going at houses since just about 6 o'clock. So almost, what, 7 hours, I believe. That's good math, 7 hours. I'm extremely tired right now. So math is not gonna be good right now. My math's not gonna be good right now. My legs are tired. I really wish I could just get carried home right now. But it was so much fun, 100% worth it. If you are going to do Halloween Horror Nights, this is one of the best ways to do it. Like I said, we did 19 houses in one night. At the end of the night, my two favorite houses, Slaughter Cinema and Insidious. But it was such a great night. A lot of fun, and I can't wait to do this again next year. But if you all enjoyed today's video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you are new here to the channel. And make sure to ring that notification bell to get notified whenever I post a new video. Because on Wednesday, Pedro and I are actually heading over to Busch Gardens for their Howl-O-Scream media event. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna have a whole camera rig set up, going through the new house this year at Howl-O-Scream Busch Gardens. Like I said, I am extremely tired. It's been a very long day. It's been a very long weekend. 3 straight days of Halloween Horror Nights, practically open to close every single night. But it's been a lot of fun. And yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video. I'm extremely tired, as you can tell, and it is time to go home and fall asleep. So I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.